What's up, Sports Wars? This is Big Roy, the Bearded Bulldog, coming at you with another Sports Wars special edition. This is in direct response to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Michigan versus Florida. Final score is not important. What we're going to get at is a common debate that I see throughout all sports talks, particularly college football sports talk. And that is the Saban versus Harbaugh debate on who is the better coach. Can we finally put this shit to bed, man? Like, could we stop bringing up Harbaugh as it relates to Saban? Like, Harbaugh is an okay coach. He's okay. He's not Saban's level. He's not, okay? He's not close. I don't know how else to put it. I'm trying to not be blunt about it, but he is absolutely not on Saban's level. He has not. He will not. He never will be. There's no two ways around it. You can't continue to make excuses for this man. I see a lot of the SEC haters try to shit on Saban and his accomplishments. One of the things that they like to bring up is Saban's record in the NFL, which at face value, yeah, looks pretty bad. But these are people who lack the ability to dig deeper. Yes, Saban's record in Miami with the Dolphins wasn't good. But the context that they lack is one of the reasons he left Miami was because they didn't give him the personnel that he wanted. Nick Saban wanted Drew Brees. He wanted Drew Brees off of a pretty significant injury. And if you ask Drew Brees, the two teams that it came down to for him signing his free agent deal was New Orleans and Miami. And he ultimately chose New Orleans because the Miami doctors would not clear him. The Saints doctors did. And Saban ended up going with Dante Culpepper, Joey Harrington, some other combination of those guys. So it didn't go well. And that's part of the reason why he left. But he was still one of the last head coaches, coached one of the last teams to shut out Bill Belichick's Patriots at home. I'm sure it's a stat that old Jeremy Griggs likes to bring up. He is a very big Nick Saban fan. He's also a very big Tom Brady fan. As far as Griggs is concerned, Belichick is just along for the ride. So I don't believe that to be the case 100%. I do think Belichick needed Brady as much as Brady needed Belichick. Would Brady be what he is in Cleveland with the Browns? Would Belichick be what he is with Brady as his quarterback, or if he continued with Drew Bledsoe? Who knows? That'll be chalked up to the what ifs of NFL and college football history. But back to the argument that I keep hearing that just numbs my fucking brain every single time is Nick Saban versus Jim Harbaugh. Nick Saban's career record as a college football head coach is 236, 62, and 1. He has a 791 win percentage. That's at major schools, which is FBS equivalent. And Jim Harbaugh, who, again, not a terrible coach, is 67 and 34. That's a 663 winning percentage. His bowl record is terrible. Jim Harbaugh's bowl record is 2-3. That is absolutely horrific. Nick Saban, on the other hand, his bowl record is 13-9. That's 22. He's been coaching 22 years, man. It's been a very long time. An interesting breakdown that I saw today, a tweet from Darren Ravel, $30 million. That is what Michigan has paid for Jim Harbaugh in 4 seasons. He's got $22 million in salary and $8 million in a creative life insurance policy, which he can actually withdraw from. For that, they've gotten a 38-14 record, and they are 2-6 against their rivals of Michigan State and Ohio State, and a 1-3 bowl record. That's a lot. That's some Kirk Cousins type production right there. And now one of our members in our Sports Wars group on Facebook brought up an interesting point. What does this mean for the drubbing that they took today from Florida? What does this mean for Jim Harbaugh? I think it may finally kind of cause the Michigan alumni to sink in that they're not they're not at the level of Ohio State. Okay, they're not. They're at Penn State's level. They can compete for a Big Ten championship every few years, which Harbaugh hasn't since he's been there. They can they'll have a good year every now and then, but they're not in the national picture. They're not. That's just not what the program is about anymore. I believe it has been, how long has it been since Michigan was in the national title picture? Almost 20 years. So I believe Brian Greasy was still on that fucking team, who's retired and probably has kids playing at Michigan now. So, I mean, it's a hard realization to sink in that Michigan's just not the storied program that it once was. But, man, can we please fucking stop with the Harbaugh Saban comparisons? It's not the same. It's you're comparing Kirk Cousins to Tom Brady. You're comparing Bernie Kosar to fucking Joe Montana. Like, Saban is, don't get me wrong, as a Georgia fan, it pains me to say that. I mean, it doesn't pain me too much because I do respect Saban. I don't hate the guy. Saban is in his own Bear Bryant territory. Him and Bear are, as far as I know, I don't believe he's passed Bear yet. The national titles. He has a chance to do that this year. Unless he did it last year against my Bulldogs. But Saban is in his own territory. Okay. You can't compare even Dabo or Jimbo Fisher, or like Jim Harbaugh's got to get to their fucking level before he can get to Saban. And I know another big argument is, anybody can win national titles if you can recruit the talent they have at Alabama. That's part of the fucking job. That's part of the job, is to be able to recruit. Okay? Saban doesn't have any advantage over any other coach other than his previous success. What kind of fucking sense does that make to hold his previous success against him because it helps with recruiting? That's dumb. So, I mean, Michigan's supposed to be this national program. National programs all recruit out of the same talent base. It doesn't make a shit. I know when you're at a lower level school, it's kind of regional. Mississippi State is only recruiting guys in that regional area. They may pluck a guy from New Jersey or something like that, a talent who maybe has some kind of ties to the university, or otherwise just wants to get the fuck out of New Jersey, because who would blame you? But those Mississippi States, the Michigan States, they recruit out of a local base. But when you get to the level of Alabama, a Clemson, even Ohio State, as much as I dislike those fuckers, Notre Dame, they're recruiting a higher level guy. They're recruiting all that. Doesn't make a shit. Notre Dame can recruit guys out of Alabama. They can likely, possibly sneak into Saban's backyard and get a guy or two. It doesn't happen often, but Alabama can absolutely sneak in and go to Ohio and get a guy. Georgia's starting to get to that level. I think we just snuck in and stole a guy from Ohio State. We flipped a recruit. But in all likelihood, they're about to switch, about to get a transfer from us Justin Fields. So, I mean, they're national programs. So it happens like that. National programs recruit nationally. It's not rocket science. Local programs like Michigan, they're going to recruit out of that area. So I know that's that's kind of different than the way it used to be. Whereas Alabama would recruit guys in the Southeast. The world's a smaller place now, dude. Social media, YouTube, guys can get his highlights out there. They can get the correspondence is easier. You don't have to track down a number. It's just quick. So all these excuses made for Harbaugh about, he doesn't get the same kind of recruits that Saban gets. No shit. It's because he hasn't had the success that Saban gets. So I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted this. I heard on radio on my way home, somebody once again trying to compare Harbaugh to Saban. And I'm like, can we please fucking stop this already? There's no one. There's no one you can compare to Saban. Okay, compare Harbaugh to another coach who underachieves and doesn't win that. Mark Richt. Harbaugh is Mark fucking Richt. That's it. There you go. If you disagree with me, drop comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe. We love hearing from you. Join our Facebook group. Man, tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Fuck Tom Brady.